The Central Florida Christian Chamber and Triangle Media welcome you to the Builders Podcast, spotlighting Christian business leaders and their stories of faith, leadership, and success.
Hi, everyone. I'm Krystal Parker, president of the Christian Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for taking your precious time to watch and get to know more about our December professional development speaker. And let me tell you, you're in for a real treat. Not only are you going to get a chance to get to know an amazing man of God that is just filled with so much knowledge around purpose and passion and vision and business, but you're going to also walk away with something that you're going to be able to take from this time today and put it in your toolbox and put it to use, and then be so excited to come to our professional development series. It's a hybrid series, and we hope to see you there. You can go on our website and get registered today. And without further ado, the man of the hour, my special guest and friend, Dr. Charles Redd. Welcome. Would you please tell everyone just a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you, Krystal, and it's a pleasure to share and be a part of the Christian Chamber organization and to give a little insight about me. I won't talk too long about myself, but I am a passionate leader working in corporate America for most of my life, also involved as an adjunct professor in the higher learning education. In addition to that, I've worked in the church community and served in the discipleship ministry, Christian education. So when you add up those three, I feel that I have some insights and some things that I can share around leadership, and particularly in transformational leadership, which my doctorate is in transformational leadership. And so I have a passion and desire to pour into others and help folks see their full potential and then to begin to act on it and begin to share and make a difference and live a life of significance and leave a legacy for generations to follow.
Wow. I mean, is anybody really going to want to miss this? I can't imagine somebody would say, oh, I'm too busy for this. This is going to be so amazing, especially right now. We're talking about a transformational leadership expert who's going to come in. And right now with the pandemic and all the changes and how companies are really having to be nimble and adaptable and change and evolve to take a different offering or resource for people during this pandemic so that they can survive. How has your transformational leadership skills come into play in this season for businesses?
You know, when I think about the pandemic, what it has done for all of us is given us an opportunity to reflect and to think about what can we do now and what's on the other side of this pandemic. We have a ray of hope as we move forward into another new year, and we'll see that we'll get back to some normalcy. That's everyone's prayer and that's everyone's expectation. But during this time, I see that God has changed up the agenda, so to speak, and given us an opportunity to get quiet somewhere and to really think about what's happening. It's changed in the corporate scene as well, because now we're not meeting physically. We're all doing things virtually and Team Microsoft and Zoom. And so we're getting used to that. And I think as we get on the other side of this pandemic, we won't just throw away all of those things, but we'll incorporate those things and keep them going forward. Look what's happening in the church community. The walls have come down and folks are reaching all across the world with their messages through social media and through Zoom. And so it has been a blessing in one respect. And in another respect, it has also given us an opportunity to really look within ourselves and think about life, because some of us have lost loved ones that have succumbed to this virus, and then we think about our own destiny in terms of what it is that we have and what it is that we can do while we're here. So I'm excited to encourage people that let people know that we're here because there's a reason. God is not done with us yet.
So good. And how is it, Dr. Charles, that you balance a professional career in the secular world, and you also have this business, that there's a little bit of a ministry in your business as well? First of all, how do you have all this time? I mean, have you figured out a time machine that you are able to do so much? And
well,
how do you balance?
One of the things, Krystal, is that when you're passionate about something, you don't necessarily look at the clock all the time. time. You just get busy and you just keep working at it. I look at my career like a triangle. On one side, it was corporate America. On the other side, it was Christian ministry. And they kind of go hand in hand, and they're reaching a point where they work together. And so I've been able to separate the two, but yet at the same time, be of a positive influence in the corporate side without going too far with my faith, but then also incorporating some of the principles of just leading and guiding and leading from the front, that is, and being a servant leader. I think people can relate to being served. And so a servant leader is appropriate in corporate America as well as it is in the church community. So the two are working together. I've had a chance to meet with folks from higher learning education, talking to students on the university campuses about their careers and leadership. I've had opportunity to train others in corporate America, and I've had opportunities to make disciples to become disciplers in the church community. So I tell folks I work half days, and they say, "Oh, really? 12-hour days." And that's really what I just continue to do that. Yes.
Half days, 12 hours. That's fantastic. And you mentioned that perfect triangle. I really like that imagery. And actually on the screen, you see that we are with Triangle Media. So what a great opportunity to take a short break. And when we come back, I'd love to talk to you about your book.
Absolutely.
Do you have valuable information to share? Are you looking to build a relationship between your brand and your target audience? Are you able and willing to talk about your products, services, and/or industry on a regular basis? If you answered yes to these questions, then you or your organization needs a podcast. Podcasts are the new talk radio. 144 million Americans listen to podcasts, including 90 million on a monthly basis. Podcasts are in demand because consumers want information on demand, on the go, and in a personal, relatable way. At Triangle Media, we take care of every step of your organization's podcast. From idea creation to recording and editing through distribution, it couldn't be easier for you. We even offer white label podcasting services for agencies who want to offer podcasting to their clients. Contact Suzanne Lynn at trianglemedia.biz to learn more and ask about video podcasting too.
All right. Welcome back. Thank you so much. I'm here with my special guest, Dr. Charles Redd, who I am getting to know like everyone else. And he is a phenomenal, fantastic, absolutely trend-setting leader. He just taught me what it means to work half days, 12-hour days. This is great. An entrepreneur's dream. It's, I heard once that an entrepreneur is someone that will work 80 hours to avoid working 40 for corporate America. And I thought that was pretty great too. So Dr. Charles, you wrote a book, and I would love to hear the inspiration behind your book, and just tell us a little bit more about what inspired this.
Yes, the book is Don't Stop Now. And it's a book that's really gives insight in terms of passion and purpose. And it also gives a peek of my own personal journey. When I think about my corporate experience, all of that's great in leading teams, but it gives a glimpse in terms of my life, it hasn't always been a rosy picture. You know, I talk about failing in my book, you know, and the reality of understanding that when we fail, we all fail, but what is it that we've learned from it? And so one of my mentors, John Maxwell, he wrote a book about failing forward. And that really helped me, because when you fail forward, you learn from your experiences, you do things differently, and you grow on, versus living life, you learn and you live. And I thought that was something that really resonated with me, because learning and living, it helps me to become that much more wiser. And I realized that people are not going to judge me by my mistakes, but they're going to judge me by how I've overcome them. So I share a little bit about that in the book, and about teamwork, working together, and becoming passionate about what it is that you're called to do here on this earth, because everyone has value. Everyone has something that they can uniquely offer and make an impact and be significantly different than they ever thought they could be. You just have to be open to possibilities. So don't stop. It's all about, no matter where you're at on the journey, never give up. You're going to blaze away. You're not going to wilt away. You're just going to blaze away. And that's what we want everybody to do.
Blaze away and don't wilt away. Okay, so here's a little bit of a question that I really want to know, and I think some of our audience will want to know this too. You talked about with a failure, learning to use that as a lesson. And would you share something that you've learned along the way that might be able to be helpful for others?
Absolutely, because life is a passing parade. And as we live from earth to heaven, there's going to be pit stops and valleys and mountaintops. And when I think about something very passionate about me and failing, I failed in a marriage that was 23 years. And, when you think about it, you can always point a finger to the other person, but there's a thumb that's pointing back to you. Someone said that there's three sides to a story. There's mine and the right side. And I really reflected on that because we have one daughter who grew up and about that time was in college. And so it was a breakdown in the family, but we came back together. And so when I really reflect, and I decided not to become bitter, but to become better. And so I've since remarried again, and I'm making still mistakes, but I'm growing along as we just continue the journey from faith to faith and continue to learn and live. And that is the recipe, is to own what it is that we've done and then do it better going forward. And that's what I've done. I have no hardness in my heart. My daughter just recently got married, and her mom was there and I was there. Her mom has since remarried and I remarried, and it was wonderful. It was no hard feelings on either side. And it was just a beautiful experience to know that in my own heart that there was no heart of stone, but a heart of flesh. And that really makes a difference. It made for a wonderful affair. Even in the pandemic, it was a beautiful wedding. And I just was so pleased what God did on the inside because it manifested itself on the outside.
Wow. Well, congratulations to your growing family. And it's really great to hear you not only just talk it, but you walk the talk. And I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing that, and just how it's been full circle for you. So congratulations for that. Well, we do have an event coming up where people are going to get access to you. And it's a members only event because I really hold these very precious, this professional development, because I believe, and your mentor, Maxwell, mine is too, when the leader gets better, so does the team. And he talks about the law of the lid, which I know you're very familiar with that. And so as leaders start to evaluate their time, because everything seems to be competing for our time right now, even if you are just working half-hour days, Dr. Charles, there is a competition for time, and time is money. So when people think about, do I want to invest that 1 hour with the Christian Chamber and come see Dr. Charles Redd and have access to him, what is the value? What can they expect? What are they going to walk away with? And how will they be different?
My aim is that I will pour something into you that will strike a match. If one match can set a forest on fire, just think that if I can just pour in a golden nugget that will motivate you and encourage and inspire you to move forward, because, there's no reason to be jealous of anyone or envious of anyone, because God has given us all something. We all have value. And I think that's what I want to point out to each and every one, is that what is it that you have, the one or two things that you do well? Let's examine and look at that. And then let's give that time to that. And let's develop it, because someone said that your gift will make way for you. It will make a difference for you when you uncover that precious gift that God gave you that you can share with the rest of the world. So what we want to do is we want to find help, but then we want to also ultimately become a helper. And in order to do that, you've got to know what you want to do in life, and you want to be so absorbed in it. Someone said it this way. They said, follow your passion. And that when you discover and uncover that passion, you get yourself so absorbed in it that you would just give that gift freely. But because you do it so well, people will want to learn more about you, and they want to be that much more excited about what they can do as well and offering to the community and being able to make a difference. We need change agents. That's what we need. And
Yes.
change agents can make a difference in our world today.
Woo, can they? I mean, just preach it, okay? Just go. This is so good. Well, we've had this scheduled now for many months, and I can't believe it's finally here. And I just am so excited to introduce you to the Christian Chamber. You're also a Christian Chamber member as well. And there's a couple of things that I want people to be able to interact with you ahead of this. Number one is, where can they find your book? And what's the name of the book? One more time so everybody can find it.
Don't Stop Now. You can
What? Say it again.
purchase the
Don't
book.
stop what?
Don't Stop Now. That's right.
Okay. Don't
And
stop.
of course, Barnes and Noble and Amazon. You can find the book there if you want to learn a little bit more about me. I do have a podcast that I do weekly. It's pre-recorded, and you can just look me up, Dr. Charles Redd. You can check out my website at charlesredd.com. And so there's some information there, and here's some of those podcasts messages on leadership and motivation and inspiration. I think it'll do us all good to get that feeling, especially during this time of the year, and really feeling good about going into a new year and being positive and certainly optimistic about what's to come, because it'll be going from good to great.
Woo! Good to great. Hey, let me just say, all the leaders that are listening, business owners, you want your team to come to this event. That when Dr. Charles Redd's talking about being a change agent, imagine your organization being filled with change agents that are living and leaning into their purpose. You are talking about skyrocketing your organization because people determine the potential in your organization, and this is something you're going to want to invest in. And so I highly recommend not only that you attend, but you share this with friends. If they're not members, get in the Christian Chamber just to come out and see Dr. Charles Redd. It will be worth it. And I heard that you're going to be giving away one of your books at our event.
Absolutely, I will. I look forward to that.
Can't wait. We're so excited to have you. We look forward to seeing everybody in December. Dr. Charles Redd, Professional Development. Check out our events calendar, and we will see you there.
This has been the Builders Podcast, presented by the Central Florida Christian Chamber and produced by Triangle Media. If you're interested in having a program like this for your business, contact Suzanne Lynn at trianglemedia.biz.